It's Gorilla Nems. I'm live with Mikey T. You heard? Don't ever disrespect me.
So what was your first opportunity when it came to getting into music?
The first opportunity was I was battling. See, back then, before social media, it was like you just had to be outside in New York City, and every night, or every week they would have battles. But it wasn't like Fight Club or nothing. It was just like one night battle. You had to battle like fucking 8 people in one night and win maybe $100. And that's what I started doing and getting my name known. And I started winning these competitions, one called bragging rights, and one, just different battles. And then you would link up with other rappers from throughout the city. And then I met Rob Love, who was maybe an A&R or somebody higher up at Def Jam. And he gave me his card and was like, yo, we start a new label. Come up. And then I went up there and I met with, they had some shit called Spit Records. It was Stretch Armstrong's label. And they wanted to sign, they had Joe Button, this other kid, Jinx the Juvie, and then they had me. And I had a partner, George Burns. And so they was like, yo, we want to sign y'all. You know what I'm saying? And then 9/11 had happened, and my partner just bugged out and thought the world was going to end. And then he stopped rapping, he started rapping like a Christian rapper. I was like, nah, I ain't rapping that. I'm rapping regular. And they was like, yo, we don't want y'all separately. We want y'all together as a group. And then they just stopped. We fucked up that opportunity. And then it was a while. Then I started doing the Fight Club. So the Def Jam shit was really like my first step in the game. And then once that fell through, I was like, all right, back to this battle shit. I was never really a battle rapper. I used the bars from songs I would do and just battle people with it, and I would just beat them. You know what I'm saying? And then I became the all-time champ at Fight Club.
Yeah, that's crazy. So the deal with Def Jam was actually a duo deal?
Like a group. Nems and George Burns. That was the group name. Facts.
That's what's up, man. So let's talk about Fight Club, where you said, you were known as the all-time champ.
Mm-hmm.
I've got a few battles that I want to talk about, but are there any artists that you remember that you faced, that are hitting you off the top of the head you want to talk about?
Well, I remember my 20th win was against, his name was Rain Man at the time, but his name is R.J. Payne. R.J. Payne is incredible. He's nice. He's ill. And at the time, he was just as ill. You know what I'm saying? He was my 20th win. I remember that. I remember jumping on top of the pool table and being like, yo, it's my 20th win. You motherfuckers in here don't even got double digits wins over here, and I'm on my 20th. Nobody in here can fuck with me. And, yeah, but I don't remember a lot of the battles. I was on heavy drugs when I was doing the Fight Club. I was on the run. I did a robbery out here, and I had gotten caught, bailed out, and then I just was like, nah, I ain't turning myself back in. I'm not going to my next court date. So I stayed on the run for like 4 years. And in that 4 years is when I started doing the Fight Club shit, getting heavy into drugs, all types of shit. I mean, I didn't smoke crack. I didn't shoot needles, but everything else I was doing. You know what I'm saying? Xanax, fucking sniffing, man, coke, dope, all types of shit. And I was just beating everybody. And it just was like, I don't remember a lot of this shit. A lot of people I met in the years after that, like, yo, I'm thinking this is my first time meeting them. And they're fucking like, yo, we hung out before. We met at Fight Club. We fucking hung out. And I'm like, damn.
I judged your battle.
Yeah. And I'm like, damn, homie, I thought this was my first time meeting you. My bad. You know what I'm saying? Fuck it.
So I got to ask, man, how did you decide from, spitting raps that you were going to get into MC battling?
I knew that battling was an easier way. So when I went to the Poconos, how I started writing raps out there is the kids in that school were battling each other. But I didn't know anybody. I was from New York, and I just went to school out there. Every weekend, I would take the bus and come home to my mother's crib in Staten Island. So I didn't really make friends. I would just go to school, go to my grandparents' house after school, and have nothing to do. So I would just started writing raps, and the kids were battling. And I was like, I know I could come up with some iller shit than these kids in the school. So the last day of school, I saved up a year's worth of my bars, and I was like, yo, I rap. And I battled the best kid in the school, and I finished him bad, where the whole school was crazy. They didn't even know I existed because I was just always mad quiet. And then, when I went back to that school after the summer was over, because I was back home in Staten Island, everybody in the school knew me, and it was a great feeling. So I wrote my first rap was a battle rap. So I knew that battle rap was an easier way to get your name known than handing out CDs or having people listen to your music that don't know who you are. So my partner, when the kid George Burns, he would stay home, make beats, write the raps, and I would be the one really going outside and winning the battles. And I was like, yo, I'm gonna get the name up, and then you just keep making the songs, and we fucking, then we'll have a bunch of songs on deck when the opportunity comes.
Damn, the Def Jam deal ultimately didn't work out though because your two styles kind of drifted apart.
Now we stayed cool for a while. We stayed cool for a minute, and but he always was on some bug out shit. That was, like he started rapping for Christian rap, and then he came back after we already fucked up the Def Jam shit, and then, he always was on some bug out shit. I don't know. The kid was a fucking weirdo. The George Burns guy. Then he moved to Florida, had kids, and we just drifted apart. I stayed putting in the work, and I guess he just stayed not.
Normally an artist won't just get a chance to participate in a league like this off the rip. Like, how did you even end up being involved with the Fight Club in the first place?
My man, this kid named Laro, who was like a singer, he hit me one day and was like, yo, they got some. So I told you, I was battling in New York, so every week was a new battle. So he was like, yo, they got some battle tonight, man. I want to bring you. And I was like, nah, I don't feel good. He was like, yo, I'm going to pull up. I got a bunch of Xanax. Just take some. I was like, all right, pull up. Took mad Xanax, and I just went. I won. I won the battle they put me in, and I thought that was it. And then they called me like a week later, like, yo, we having that Fight Club shit again. We want you to come back. And then I went back. I won. And I just kept going back and winning and winning and winning. And I found out, like, yo, it's just some industry shit. It's not even open to the public. But that guy, Laro, he must have had some connections, and he brought me in there. And once I got in there and was winning, it was already lit.
Yeah, man. Fight Club was a little too real for MTV, so they put it on MTV2.
Yep.
You know what I mean? I know a couple of acts who were on the show, you know what I mean? The joint hit television, and they launched their careers. Can you tell me about showing up to that whole Fight Club event? Were you around different acts like
Absolutely.
Remy, Sirius? You're obviously around Math.
So the Remy battle, when she battled Lady Luck, I was supposed to battle Lady Luck, not her, that night. So what happened, when I used to do Fight Club, I used to come from Coney Island, go, I'd be around I'd be around here, chilling, hanging out, getting high, smoking weed, just outside. And I would tell people, yo, I'm going to battle. Y'all want to roll? So whoever would want to roll with me, we would go. Sometimes we would go 2 deep. Sometimes we would go 20 deep. You know what I'm saying? Whoever wanted to roll would just roll with me. And then we would go in there. We would take the train or take a cab or get a ride, whatever it was. And I would battle. And I would bet on myself, or the peoples I was with would bet on me, or whatever the case. And once I won and won the money, we was like, all right, we out. We don't give a fuck about watching any of the other battles. I don't care about these people. You know what I'm saying? So what happened was, I was the all-time champ at this time. I probably had like 9, 10 wins. I don't know. And Lady Luck, they wanted me to battle Lady Luck. And somebody was like, yo, I got 10 racks on Nems versus Lady Luck. But I had already won my money and left that night. And Remy just happened to be there and was like, nah, I got you. You know what I'm saying? And that's how that happened. But I was originally supposed to battle Lady Luck from what I heard, from what people told me. And but nah, Fight Club, the whole shit was, it wasn't a little studio. It was like a studio maybe the size of this store, maybe a little bigger. And it would just be packed. Like it was standing room only. It would be filled with rappers, their whole crews, executives, magazines, TV shows, all types of shit. And as soon as I would walk in, I would just yell, fuck your life. And then, I always had, I would always be super high, and I just didn't give a fuck. And I always knew that the people I was with was ready to get down with me and fight and do anything. So I always had that bravado with me. And plus, once you step in that building, you got to put on your rapper mask, like your MC mask, and also your just thug mask, because anything could go down in there. We would just, it would just get sometimes crazy, but a lot of the rappers already knew. I already was cool with all these people. So, but it was definitely a tense environment when you got in there. Definitely. Sirius Jones came already when I was already, because I had stopped going there. Once I won like a couple times, It was some weird shit because then after the first like 5 to 10 weeks, it was run by Riggs Morales from Shady. He started it, and then he stopped fucking with it for some reason. And he told me, "Yo, Nems, I don't fuck with it no more." So it just became like dudes from uptown. I was hustling. They started running the show, and then they came to me was like, "Yo, Nems, we want, we starting like Fight Club Records. We want you to be down with it." But I already was in talks with Riggs and Shady. They wanted to develop me as one of their artists. So I was like, man, I'm kind of fucking with Riggs over here. And then it was, they started fixing battles against me. From what I heard, I don't have, concrete proof, but they would, people would tell me, like, yo, all three of the judges would come up to me and be like, yo, we all voted for you, and they called the other dude's name. So they started fixing battles, and that's when I stopped fucking with them a little bit, and then and stopped going up there as much. And that's when like dudes like Sirius Jones started coming around. But in the beginning, it wasn't really, they wasn't there. Remy was there in the beginning. And the whole shit on MTV, that came out after I got caught for my felony, for the robbery charge. I had to do a 1.5 to 4.5. So when I got caught, I went up north, and then they started showing the battles on TV. So it worked out perfect for me. It kept my buzz going while I was locked up. I came home. This shit had been playing on MTV every night when I was in jail. So it was like perfect for my buzz. I came out and had this crazy buzz going already.
You said tense. I heard RJ Payne say he recalled battling you on Fight Club. He actually told my guy Panda Chop that things were about to go left with y'all. He said your bars were so disrespectful that it almost led to a fight. Is that true?
I remember, for some reason, I think I remember it because it was my 20th win, and also my tooth had come out, my front tooth. So all my people was like, yo, don't battle, your fucking tooth is up. I was like, nah, I don't give a fuck. You know what I'm saying? I'm Nems Gutter. That was my name, but I wasn't Gorilla Nems. I was skinny. I was Nems Gutter. I was like, I don't give a fuck. And I remember when I beat him, like I said, I stood on the table. And after I beat him, he was like, I can't lose to this guy. He only got a tooth. I was like, yeah, that's from kissing your fucking mother. You know what I'm saying? But I was always ready to fight when I was in there. Tensions was always high. But yeah, at the end of the day, it was always a mutual respect. Me and RJ got a couple of joints done now recently. You know what I'm saying? Like, it ain't no real beef. It was just a tense situation. Everybody wanted to be the top guy in there. And I was the top guy in there.
He even said the legend Pee Wee Kirkland calmed y'all down. Is it true that happened?
Pee Wee Kirkland was always in there. So for somebody like from Philly that's coming there, he's going to remember better than me. You know what I'm saying? Because I was there every week. Everything just gets mashed together in my mind. So I don't fucking remember. But Pee Wee Kirkland was always in there, 100%. So that sounds about right.